Today I'm going to talk about load cells and getting them into the Xbox Adaptive Controller. More importantly, why it's so darn difficult to do that. Load cells in the gaming world are usually used for things like a brake pedal on a car simulator because you could put a lot of force against it and it will record that force more than a joystick can handle. Now, the first thing you should be doing is take a look at SparkFun's load cell amplifier page. It's a really good resource. It shows a whole bunch of different load cells that are available. You can see these bar types, which is what you would see on some of the controllers. And it really goes into great detail and the complexity of hooking them up. So first thing first, take a look at that and you'll see what I mean. Next, let's take a look at how we would actually get this to work with the adaptive controller. These are some bare load cells. These are not attached to anything. Normally they get attached to like the bar of metal or something else to protect it and to take more weight and more stress. I don't have any of those, so we're going to pretend that this is a load cell. Now, what a load cell is going to require is a load cell amplifier. And SparkFun has them, and you can buy them off of Amazon. So the idea here is that a load cell gives very, very, very small values. So it's too small for most microcontrollers to pick up with their regular ADCs. So you need an amplifier. And the amplifier also provides the emitter power, positive, negative, positive A and B for the two sets of coils. All that, and read the SparkFun thing and it'll make more sense. But there's a lot of connections to do a load cell. The output of that will then have to go through a microcontroller of some sort. This happens to be an Adafruit Cutie Pie, but it can be pretty much any microcontroller. Just watch out for the voltage ratings because remember, some Arduino stuff is 5 volts and a lot is 3.3. I do 3.3 exclusively now. So you need a microcontroller because the microcontroller is going to be programmed to read values from this board, which this board amplifies from the load cell. So load cell to amplifier to microcontroller. But that's not enough. Not for the trigger ports on the back of the Xbox Adaptive Controller, because the trigger ports on the box require a variable resistance from 0 to 10K, 10 kilo ohms. Now, in a purely mechanical standpoint, that could be done with something like a slide potentiometer or a regular rotary potentiometer or like this tiny automotive one that I found. If you're just using a potentiometer, that's easy, but because they're analog, Xbox is expecting analog. This is outputting digital. So what you need is you need another component, and this is a digital potentiometer. So this simulates the behavior of a potentiometer, but it needs to be controlled by a microcontroller. So you can see how it fits here. Here you have the load. It gets amplified by this board. It gets read by the microcontroller. The microcontroller then has to clean up the data and figure out how much of a load there is. And then it has to tell this digital potentiometer to output a certain resistance. And then you would have it connected through your regular 3.5 millimeter jack setup. So it's not easy. You need all of these individual components to be able to do that. And the situation that some folks are seeing with the load cell boards for gaming, because they are available for gaming, but they'll only work with PC because they aren't official controllers. So with those, it works fine if you're doing a PC game. What it doesn't have is this part, the digital potentiometer. And without that, it's just not going to work. The other thing is that the way those boards are, they're designed to do USB HID output. So you're really kind of stuck with that. You can't like add on this to that board, which is a real drag. And if you look at those boards actually are basically combining those two components. They're combining the amplifier with a microcontroller, and then they have USB out to the computer. But the Xbox AC won't take that. It wants analog values through the jack, which you need a digital potentiometer. So this is not an easy project. I wouldn't do it personally because it's going to be very complicated. But that's it for the Xbox AC and load cells. It's really not good news, but it is possible. It is possible, but it is complicated. Thanks for watching.